Sat Sri Akal, Namaste, Vanakkam. Hello, I am Tania and I am back with the third episode of the Pyjama Stories. Stuck at Midnight, which is also the sequel of the first Pyjama story, My Stranger in My Need. In case you haven't watched My Stranger in My Need, please check the link in the description below. Coming back to my story. Have you ever been to Kolkata during Durga Puja? If not, you should. The entire city is adorned with lights and decor, and there is an aura of festivity everywhere. The streets are crowded with people busy in their last minute shopping, while the decorators busy in the last minute decoration of the magnificent looking pandals. You can literally smell celebration and happiness in the air. It's that amazing. As my cab drove through the colorful and beautiful streets of Kolkata, I found myself lost in the beauty of the city of joy. Now, I could have taken a direct cab from the station to the airport, but then I had to pick something up from a place called Rajbihari Avenue, and hence the change of route. I reached Rajbihari Avenue at around 9:30 pm. I picked up my packet and got myself 2 egg rolls packed for dinner. I had my egg rolls in the bus stand, waiting for the AC bus for airport. After some 15-20 minutes, the AC bus arrived. I got on the bus and took a seat by the window. By the look of the bus, it felt like I was the first passenger because the bus was fairly vacant. And surprisingly, it was externally covered with advertisement posters, including the windows, which meant that you cannot see anything outside sitting from the inside. I took my seat and I called out the conductor and I told him politely, Dada, please call me when the bus reaches the airport. The conductor, who was in his late 50s, got intense and looked at me for 5 long seconds. And to me, it felt like I asked for his kidneys instead. Eta airport jabe na. Airport er kache stop ta neme porben, he said, meaning the bus would not be going to the airport. So he asked me to get down at the nearest stop to the airport. I told him to call me when the bus reaches the nearest stop to the airport. He nodded and he left. I checked my mobile and I realized that I only had 20% charge in my mobile. And then I decided, before my mobile battery drains out, I should take a selfie. After all, I was traveling home after such a long time. So it's mandatory to put up a post on Facebook saying, traveling home after ages, feeling excited and listening to, I'm coming home, tell the world I'm coming home. But while I was posing for the selfie, the bus reached its next stop. And from that stop, 2 passengers got on the bus, both boys. And out of all the vacant seats in the entire bus, they chose to sit exactly behind me. I got back to my selfie business. But then, something happened. These guys who were sitting at my back, all of a sudden, they started playing Antakshari. Can you imagine? And I was like, seriously? कौन है ये लोग? कहाँ से आते हैं? But who cares? अपने को तो entertainment से मतलब है. And indeed, it was free entertainment. So the first guy, he sang something like this. Hey, ting 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 ting, क्या बोलती तू? To compliment the first guy, the second guy sang, hey, ting 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 ting, क्या मैं बोलूं? And I was having such a good time, And indeed, it was free entertainment, as I said. Initially though, because when the song changed to अकेले न बाजार जाया करो, नजर लग जाएगी, and अकेले हम, अकेले तुम, it was no more fun, believe me. Imagine yourself traveling in a bus. 10:30 p.m. night, you are the only female passenger and two guys sitting behind your back and they are singing for you. They are singing at you. Whatever. It's not a good feeling. Not at all. And I could visualize my fate looking at me and saying, le, maza le aur. I wanted to stop them. I so wanted to stop them. But then, khali pili kyun panga lene ka? Remember my funda from the first storytelling episode, My Stranger in My Need? When I travel solo, safety comes first. Fun and adventure comes later. So although I wanted to stop them, I didn't want to pick up any unnecessary argument or fight in the bus. So guess what I did? Now those who know me well, they know me that I have this quote unquote unique skill. Unique skill as in I could fall asleep in the bus while traveling. And it's not just limited to bus, it can be cab or truck or auto. And it doesn't matter if I'm sitting or I'm standing in a crowd. If I'm falling asleep, I will sleep. And so I did. Because after a day-long journey from the train, I was very much exhausted. And also the GPS told me that it would take another hour to reach the airport. So bhai, so janega. And I slept. When I woke up, it was 11:30 p.m. And luckily the boys who were sitting at my back, the back seat, they were gone. I waited anxiously for the conductor to call out the passengers for the airport. Because I tried so hard looking at the GPS trying to determine my location, my current location at that time. But there was no network. I also tried looking outside the window, but So when the conductor didn't call out the passengers for the airport for the next 10 minutes, I became restless. There is something wrong. Kuch to garbar hai. So when the conductor passed by me collecting the bus fares, I called him and I said, Dada, when will the bus reach the airport? To this, he looked shocked. And he stared at me this time for 10 long seconds. And it felt like I had asked for his kidneys again. But this time, the passengers who were sitting on the front, on the back, and also the guy who was sitting beside me, they all looked at me shocked. Excuse me, did I ask for your kidneys too? But then the conductor said the golden words, due to the reason of which I'm sitting here and telling you this story. Madam, airport to kokhon beriye geche. I was like, oh my god, what just happened? Did I sleep for that long? What's the time? It's just, 10 minutes, 11:40. And the conductor said it out so loud that everybody in the bus were looking at me. And all the uncles and the aunties, they immediately wrapped the blanket of gurus, gurus, right? And they started pouring in advice. Get down here, get a taxi. No, don't take a taxi, take a auto. How can you be so careless? Oh my god, and here it goes. The last thing I wanted at that moment was gear. And as usual, I was the topic of discussion in the bus. The conductor, disgusted with all the bickering in the bus, he dropped me in the next stop, Madhyam Gram. And he told me you can take a cab or a taxi back to the airport. So I got down. It was 10 minutes to 12 midnight and I was cursing myself. How could I let that happen? Okay, Sona is fine. But did I sleep for that long? The GPS also showed me, right? It would take 1 hour. Okay, I woke up after 1 hour, I think 11:30 p.m. But then, how could the airport go? I was so crowded with fear and nervousness and I was just praying, oh God, please send me back in the past. Please send me back in the past. But that's not gonna happen, right? And believe me, that was not the first time it happened. I do have this habit of sleeping in the bus, in the cab, in the car, and this was not the first time that I traveled somewhere else while I was sleeping. But then I didn't have any option there. So I stood under this yellow street light in this place called Madhamgram. Madhamgram? I never heard of it. But anyways. And by the way, where did all the decor and the lights go? Was it not a Durga Puja or something? Excuse me, is this place out of Bengal? Oh my god, where am I? Oh god, how could I miss it? Okay. So I decided I couldn't panic at the time, and I have to be like, this brave girl stuck at midnight in a place called Madhamgram. But at that moment, in the darkness, standing under the yellow street light at midnight, all I could think of at that moment was अकेली लड़की खुली तिजोरी के समान. And this is where my story starts. Any guess what happened next? No? Yes? If you'd like to know what happened next, catch me in Stuck at Midnight Part 2 coming next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.